If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home Design magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from the Coleman Collection, a high-end consignment furnishings store here in Mount Pleasant, located at 976 Houston Northcutt Boulevard, right in the breezeway area between the two plazas at 976 Houston Northcutt Boulevard. And now we're talking with Phillip Smith with Phillip W. Smith General Contractors. How you doing, Phillip?
I'm good, Tim.
Good. Phillip, take a moment and tell everybody about Phillip W. Smith General Contractors.
Phillip Smith General Contracting has been a custom home residential company in Charleston for 25 years now. We're focused on mostly larger high-end projects, but we do quite a bit of remodeling, and we do some smaller projects that require more attention to detail, I would say. Things that are more complicated or just a little bit harder to do or seem to be more of our specialty. When people want something done in a way that's important because they're spending enough money on the materials, it's important to get someone that can guarantee putting them together that way. So it just seems to be our niche.
Sure. Where around town does Phillip W. Smith General Contractors build?
We're currently working one project on Front Beach, Kiowa. It's not a new home. It's a large home that was built about 20 years ago. We're refurbishing the home. We're working on a new large home in Daniel Island on the water out in Ralston Creek. Working in Dunes West. We have projects on Isle of Palms and Sullivan's Island.
Gotcha. And typically, what size are these homes?
Let's see. The one on Front Beach, Isle of Palms, about 6,000 square foot. It's a new home. We're doing another remodel over there on Palms. That's it's close to $1 million Front Beach remodel. The new house in Daniel Island is 5,200 square feet. The house in Dunes West is a new one on the water. That one is right around 5,500 square feet. The remodel in Kiowa is around 9,000 or 10,000 square feet. So those jobs are all larger projects. But it just happens to be what we're doing right now. We'd be glad to build a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot house too if it fit what the owners would like us to do.
Sure. When it comes to those type houses, the attention to detail is very, very important. There's usually an architect involved with a house that size, and the homeowners. How do you as a builder help to facilitate the project, make the project seamless and easy for the homeowner?
Well, it's with 35 years in the construction industry and 25 being self-employed with a good team of people surrounding me, helps pull it together. Everybody has a different job, and we all work together with the architect, the homeowner, the designers. And we all sit down in the beginning of the project and make a list of who's going to do what and how we're going to communicate these different tasks and how the process works from A to Z. And we have meetings regularly to review everybody's input and budget concerns, time concerns, and those things throughout the process. So it's collaboration of us all getting a good, clear understanding of what each other is going to be doing and making sure that we all communicate very well through the process to make sure at the end of the day there was no surprises.
Phillip, before we started the interview, you mentioned that most of your projects that Phillip W. Smith General Contractors undertakes are from previous customers, or they're referrals from previous customers, new people that are building that were referred from someone you built a house for.
I would say 90% of our business comes from what we've done, whether it be a homeowner or a friend of a homeowner. We work for a lot of friends of homeowners or family, other family, and through architects also. Even attorneys recommend us, construction attorneys, for projects because of the bad experience they may have had getting to where they're at and knowing that we've never let anybody down, so they're going to have a real positive experience working with us. So, but it's all referrals. I'd say the majority of it's all through referrals through the industry from people we work with.
So the friend of a homeowner visits that homeowner's house that Phillip W. Smith General Contractors built. they see the attention to detail, they see the amazing features in the home, and then they hear the homeowner kind of bragging about you, the builder, and what a great job that you did for them, and that previous client of yours is kind of doing the sales pitch for you then, huh?
Absolutely, and that's pretty much how it works. A lot of these homeowners have friends that may be building at the same time or going to build, so they'll actually walk through the house while we're building it, the whole process, and see what we're doing. And I don't know how many times I've heard that people walk in the house and they can tell the difference no matter what stage the house is in, whether it's the foundation, the framing. They look at the houses that we're building and they can tell the difference between a house being built next door to it.
What are those differences that they might notice?
Detail, attention to detail, good quality subcontractors. There's a lot of levels of builders, a lot of levels of subcontractors. So, if you're going to pay a framer X amount, you're going to pay one a little bit more. You're paying for more because that's what you want and that's what you need. So when you pay a builder a little bit more, in my opinion, you're not paying that builder more. You're paying him to hire better people and use better materials. And that's where I think a little confusion in this industry is when they say this builder's more expensive. Well, if he's charging the same profit and overhead as another builder, then where is the difference in that cost? It's going into materials and subcontractors. So you're paying for more of what you're getting, not what the builder's making. And people always say, well, they're expensive. We're only expensive as it costs to do the job at that level of detail. So if it costs you 5% more, 10% more to build a project, all that is going into what you own at the end of the day, not what the builder put in his pocket so he can go buy a brand new boat after he gets done building your house. He made the same profit and overhead as the other builder. They got paid the same for doing the project, but the projects were built differently. And I think there's a big disconnect in that avenue when a lot of homeowners don't understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, there are different ways to enter into a contract with a builder. You were telling me before we started the interview that you prefer the cost plus with a fixed fee. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's not what I prefer, but I see a lot of homeowners gravitating in that direction now. We'll work a contract any way you want, whether it's just a guaranteed maximum amount. But I feel with these higher end homes, there's a lot of decisions that still need to be made, a lot of materials that are still to be decided as the project moves forward. And one of the fairest ways, I think, to do it if I was a homeowner would be hire a builder with a fee, a guaranteed fee for him doing the project, and have a pretty good idea what the project's going to cost. But let the homeowner decide what if they want to spend a little bit more, a little bit less. It's not in the builder's best interest that you spend more because he's not making any more, if that's the way the contract's structured. So the people get exactly what they want and pay for exactly what they want. The builder's not adding extra costs in there or extra fees to make more money in the process. If a builder brings a project in under budget, he makes more money. So that's his motive, of course, to try to make extra money.
Right.
So when a homeowner goes down this road, the builder's motive is to give you the best product he can for the best price he can, as he should on every project. But there's a lot of different ways people do things.
That does seem to allow a lot of flexibility to the homeowner because on the flip side of that, they might have a fixed allowance of, I don't know, let's say $10,000 for lighting, but they might find a one fixture that's $10,000, and there goes the whole budget for lighting for the whole house. And the cost plus method, it seems like if they want to splurge on that $10,000 light fixture, then they can do that, right?
You're right, and they're not paying the builder, a markup on that extra fixture.
Right.
And I always tell homeowners that, if you want to buy something nice, I don't mind you buying it and not marking it up as long as it doesn't create extra work for us or create a lot of extra liability for us.
Or slow you down, I would imagine.
Or slow you down too much. But we're very, very friendly in that aspect of helping people get what they want without paying any extra cost on top of it.
That's great. And any quick advice to homeowners about how to find a builder?
Due diligence, finding a builder is the most important first step you could do. Architect and builder, having those two, if you are going to work with an architect and builder together. is I think it's going to give you the most efficient and most gratifying outcome. The product's going to be designed most efficiently with the builder working with the architect. So finding a builder, I think, is easiestly done by going out to the industry, talking to people that have been building homes, new homeowners that are building homes like you're building, whether it may be, and talking to as many people that have just built a home, and suppliers and subcontractors. We got a project one time in Wild Dunes about 20 years ago, and it was a gentleman in Pennsylvania. He worked in the gypsum industry up there. He called the gypsum industry down here, and they gave him my name.
Oh, okay.
Through a supplier. We've been friends ever since.
Oh, that's great.
So, talking to suppliers and subcontractors, they don't have a motive. They're just going to tell you the honest truth who they work with that they think are good builders compared to other builders. So, I think both sides, the homeowners, the architects, and the people working in the industry, whether it be air conditioner men, plumbers, anybody in the industry, is a really good. Like talking to a guy that owns a restaurant and asking his opinion. Owns a great restaurant. What other great restaurants are in town? He's going to give you his opinion, and they're probably all going to be pretty darn good restaurants.
That's true.
The people in the industry know who's better and who's not.
Right.
And you'll hear the same names over and over, and find out who the folks are you may want to talk to.
And in a previous radio interview with you, something you said has stuck with me, and I've repeated it many, many times about how homeowners are in such a rush. They've kind of got that HGTV mentality. They want to snap their fingers and have the project just finished so they can enjoy it. And it's not that easy, and it does take a lot of effort and time. And taking the time to find the right builder and do that due diligence that you mentioned. I remember something you said a long time ago that people sometimes spend more time researching the purchase of a vehicle than they do researching a builder who's going to, in some cases, be responsible for building a multi-million-dollar house for you.
Absolutely, it really is. It's almost frightening to think about the process people use to find a builder sometimes. And you're absolutely right. If you're going to buy a car and spend X amount of dollars, and you're going to go spend 5, 10, 20, 50 times that much, you spend not even that much time. Where are you spending your money wisely or your time wisely?
Sure.
So we've had people meet us 2 and 3 years before we build them a house and get to know us and start meeting once in a while and paying attention to what we're doing and watching our projects, start talking to homeowners. And it makes it very easy for them to say, we'd like to work with you, and we're hiring an architect, and which architects do you like working with? And then they meet the architects and form a team and move forward. So it's a lot more relaxing and enjoyable process if you allow it to be and plan it to be.
Sure.
So planning is very, very important. These big projects require a lot of planning, and the outcome is going to be well worth the time you spend.
Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Phillip W. Smith General Contractors.
Our company is in Mount Pleasant, right on Coleman Boulevard. Our office phone number is 843-881-9828. And you can go to our website at phillipwsmithcontractor.com.
All right, great. We'll be talking with Phillip Smith with Phillip W. Smith General Contractors. Thank you, Phillip.
Thank you, Tim.